Hi everyone, and welcome to the first official video for the Spruce and Linen YouTube channel. I'm really excited you're here. I'm excited to be making this. Nervous, of course, but I have a custom weaving to make, so I'm going to show you bits and pieces of that, kind of talk to you about what I'm doing, and I hope you enjoy it. Tie my warp onto the loom now. I always like to have a bowl or something to put your spool of string in so that it doesn't go flying all over the place. And then always tie overhead knots because they won't slip. So literally, I'm just going to tie an overhead knot to make a loop. Basically, the loop just has to be big enough or bigger to fit on one of these. So now I have my loop. I've got my string. I'm going to start putting warp on. The biggest thing with your warp, and it's going to be kind of one of those Goldilocks things where you want it to be, you don't want it to be too loose, and you definitely don't want to be too tight, because if it's too tight, it's going to be really hard to get, like once you get to the top, it's going to be super, super tight and hard to weave in. If it's too loose, on the other hand, everything just gets a little shifty and wonky. So I don't know how to explain the tension. It's something that you're going to have to play around with and figure out. I will try to show you what it looks like once I'm done. All right, so I always like to end my warp on the opposite side that I started on, meaning my one knot is here. I want my next one to be here so that we have an odd number of strings, which might seem counterintuitive, but while you're weaving, it just makes everything better. Okay, so now that we have our warp on, we want to make sure that the warp is fairly even as far as the tension goes. So this is something that you do a whole lot more in floor loom weaving, but I think it's important in this as well, because the more even this tension is, when you take it off the loom, when you're done weaving, it's gonna shrink evenly. So if this side is really loose and this side is really tight, what's going to happen is when you take it off the loom, you're going to have this end be a little bit bigger because there was less tension and going down to like this. It's not going to be that dramatic, but it is something that can be noticeable if it's too much. So basically all I do for that is I will run my hand along the warp. And you can start to feel that this end, the end that I started, which is pretty normal, is a lot looser than this end. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to start tightening up the strings, and I'm just going to move all the way across. You don't want to go too crazy because otherwise you're going to have the opposite problem. But it just little by little tightening up the warp. So now my warp is feeling a lot more even, so I'm ready to get started. Okay, so it's the next day and I haven't gotten very much done yet. I started putting kind of a river in and I was just like, I'm not sure I love it. So I think what I'm gonna do, I think this is gonna stay, but if you've seen my tree woven wall hangings with all the different sections and layers of tassels, I think I'm gonna do that again here because I feel like it's just a little bit too boring down here because this is gonna be pretty simple. So yeah, I guess I'm gonna start putting a bunch more tassels in. Here we go. Got a lot of work done on this little weaving today. Added lots of tassels. Hey Nova, get your little nose out of there. It was a bit of a challenge, I'm not gonna lie. I wove and unwove is typical for me. All in all, I'm quite happy with this. I'm really excited to cut the tassels because I feel like that's always what really makes it great. All right, so it's been a whole week and a haircut later since I delivered the river weaving to my customer. She loved it, which was super exciting for me because, to be honest, that's one of the best parts of doing what I do, is just making other people happy. And they're home cozy and their heart happy. Like, that's what I'm all about. I was really excited when I finished it and it just like all kind of tied together. I think the tassels, all the different layers and colors really made the piece, and I was originally just gonna go with one set of regular tassels and it would have been okay, but doing those other things really amplified the piece. I love that about custom work though, about when people have one or two specific things they really want to be included in the weaving, but they still appreciate like kind of what I'm about and what my style is, and then I do that and it comes up with a whole new design I wouldn't have otherwise thought of. So if you liked this video, please hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and hit that bell so that you get notifications when I post new videos. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Anyway, so what I was saying is that